Welcome to the Big D Breakdown, talking all things Dallas Cowboys. Before we get into our main topics, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Poddex, for sponsoring this episode. Check them out today at poddex.com. Use promo code Larry21 for 10% off your first purchase. After coming off a win against New England, we're going to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly of Week 6. Week 6 of the 2021 season is in the books, and it did not disappoint as it pertains to the Dallas Cowboys campaign. Facing the league's most decorated franchise on the road, Dallas put on a show in New England in an epic instant classic. With their 35-29 victory, the Cowboys won their fifth straight game, matching their longest winning streak since November 8th to December 9th of 2018. The 35 points also set a team record of most games in a row, scoring 35 or more points. When thinking of all the history and offensive talent this franchise has had through the year, that's one impressive feat. Making this week even better, all the other teams within the NFC East took a loss. Dallas now sits 3 games ahead of the next closest team in the division, something no other team can currently say. Now, as this Inferno hot team heads into their bye week, let's take one last look at Week 6 and assess the good, bad, and ugly from an overtime win over the Patriots. Dallas Cowboys. The good. Some days you just have it going on, other days are a struggle. For the majority of the game, the Cowboys just could not get out of their own way. The Cowboys were penalized 12 times for 115 yards, including the very first play of the game. Dallas turned the ball over twice, including a fumble on the goal line, erasing an opportunity to score. Yet another score was erased with a drop pass. One play after returning a pick-six interception in the house, they gave up a 75-yard touchdown right back. All in all, the Cowboys played a B- game at best and still walked out with a win. Those are always the most impressive wins in my book. The team is obviously talented. Scoring 18 points in the final quarter and overtime shows their explosiveness. To fight through the plethora of mistakes and self-inflicted setbacks meant more to me, however. There were a few extra cherries on this Sunday, though. Before this game, the Bill Belichick-led Patriots were 109-3 at home when leading at halftime. Make that 109-4 now. Also, the 567 yards that Dallas gained in this game was the most any Belichick-coached defense had ever allowed. Let that sink in. And now on to the bad. Dallas Cowboys. A win is a win, and yes, this team has the sort of offense that can cover for a lot of errors. Yet, and still, as the competition gets harder, the weather gets colder, the stakes get higher, there is less room for errors. 12 penalties is an unacceptable amount. No time is good time for a penalty. But the Cowboys had some doozies Sunday afternoon. 3 times the Cowboys were flagged on first down, creating a 1st and 20 situation. Another penalty almost took Dallas out of field goal range late in the game when a score was needed to extend the game. As I mentioned in the good, drop touchdown passes and fumbles on the goal line aren't exactly a good look either. Teams with equally potent offenses, such as the Rams and Cardinals, will make you pay for such blunders. The Cowboys are on the verge of a potential special season. Even with this winning streak, however, Dallas has yet to play a start-to-finish great game. Hopefully those are coming, but for now, there are still lots of teaching moments to be worked out. And now for the ugly. Dallas Cowboys. Honestly, this game should have been over after cornerback Trayvon Diggs took another interception to the house, giving the Cowboys a 26-21 lead with 2:21 left to play. What commenced was mind-blowing, to say the least. Diggs was beaten on the double move, however, and it looked like he was about to recover. At that moment, safety Kezi came out of nowhere, taking a terrible angle, not only cutting off Diggs' chance to make a play, but also blowing any chance of making a play on his own. Just like that, this game could have been very easily been lost. Up by 5 late with only a touchdown hurting you, the coverage has to force the other team to methodically move down the field. Diggs could not fall for a double move, and Kezi surely never let a player get behind him, especially in that scenario. While it has nothing to do with this game, it is now being reported that he was arrested yesterday on suspicion of DUI. These type of things absolutely cannot happen, especially during a bye week. As I said before, the littlest things can derail momentum. Players need to be smarter on and off the field. Hopefully this is a blip on the radar and the end of the unnecessary off-the-field shenanigans. And now on to our second topic. It's Dak Prescott's world, and we just live in it. Not Jerry Jones, not Tony Romo anymore, Dak Prescott. What can I say? Dak Prescott is mega. Of course, this isn't news to just any Dallas Cowboys fan, and yet the quarterback continues to impress and do wonders, even on his scale. Surely the 28-year-old would see some sort of setback 6 games into 2021, right? Nope. But the only thing to betray Prescott back at Gillette Stadium was his calf and perhaps the sanity of the referees. Prescott did more than just defeat the Patriots on their turf, no less. He defeated the stadium, the fans, and the men in black and white stripes. Heck, Prescott is playing so well that he was able to overcome his head coach, who dialed up a variety of head scratchers. On that note, he even outdueled the other head coach, Bill Belichick, who many consider the greatest mastermind of all minds. The real topic here is none other than the quarterback of America's team. This is truly his year. It's his world now. We're all able witnesses. And yes, I know, folks, we still have a long season ahead of us. I get it. The calendar hasn't even flipped to November. And I want to anoint this guy next to the MVP symbol. The nerve here, let me tell you. Dial it back to the date before the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. I don't know about you, but wasn't the quarterback supposed to be sidelined with a shoulder strain? The Cowboys even had the quarterback on a pitch count, which we all witnessed during Hard Knocks on HBO. And yet the quarterback opened the NFL with 400 passing yards, going 42 of 58 with 3 touchdowns to 1 interception. He lost to Tom Brady by 2 points, a quarterback many considered the greatest to ever suit up. Well, so much for any apparent rust from the gruesome 2020 leg injury. I mean, where was the drop-off? Wasn't Dak Prescott supposed to take 1 step back to gain 2 steps forward? Somehow, someway, the 4th rounder defeated rationality and created his universal rules. Dak didn't go back to the past. He really is the mantra of Dak to the future. To MVP or not to MVP, that is the question. Prescott's stats for 2020 in 5 games, he completed 151 passes on 222 attempts, with a little more than 1,800 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, with a quarterback rating of 99.6, completing 68% of his throws. Additionally, he ran 18 times for 93 yards and 3 scores. Prescott's stats for 2021 in 6 games, completed 158 passes on 216 attempts, 1,800 passing yards, 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, quarterback rating of 115, completing 73% of his throws. Sometimes you just have to sit back and shake your head. How can one player get hurt so badly one year, only to come back the next, a better version of his human self? Prescott has blurred the lines of reality and fantasy. He has the magic, there's no denying he's a great wonder. Again, this is his world, we're just lucky enough to witness. And as always, enjoy the scenery. And finally, we're going to dive in to what needs to be fixed during this Week 7 bye. After 6 weeks of football, the Cowboys are 5-1. Things are looking great. Week 7, you get a much-needed bye week. In the grand scheme of things, bye weeks are the perfect time to heal up, go over the next slate of football games, and fix issues surrounding your team. So far this season, the Cowboys have been playing some fun, exciting, and thrilling football to the point where people are starting to consider them legit contenders. Not just in the NFC, but across the league, thanks to being absolutely stacked with talent all across the roster. Besides their known playmakers, leaders, and top performers we've seen, there is, however, one area that must be absolutely get fixed during Week 7 bye. It's an area that might not have reared its ugly head yet, but could very well down the future and actually cost the Cowboys some games, as it comes down to a very basic fundamental of coaching: time management. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, basic time management is an area that, for whatever reason, head coach Mike McCarthy can't seem to get a grasp on and execute correctly. It's crazy to think that even the football fans that know the bare basics of this sport know when to correctly call timeouts, go for it on fourth, or not when it can win a football game, and just understand that all the little things, but a proper situational awareness throughout the course of a game. It's an area of opportunity for the Cowboys, and perhaps upper management can get with McCarthy this week and put him on a special crash course to just go over these little things. Clock management is so important in the NFL these days, as the football world has seen all season long, that a lot of these games we're watching are all determined by these critical time management moments and decisions. Hopefully this is something the Cowboys put McCarthy on to work towards improving this area during the bye week, because this could easily be a reoccurring issue if it's not nipped in the bud now. The Cowboys are built up to having a special season, one that we might never forget if everything falls into place. For now, that could all be a pipe dream if McCarthy doesn't get these basics of coaching down pat. And that is all we have for this episode of the Big D Breakdown. Let us know your thoughts on the topics we covered in the comment section below. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Yeah, my bad. Thanks for watching and listening, and we'll see you next time.